Hey guys, Bruce wasn't available tonight, so I brought my other husband to talk to you guys.
Wait, I'm competing against Bruce.
Not tonight. He's got to
It's
watch
not
the
even
Packers.
a competition. I'm gonna get just wrecked by him. There's no chance.
I mean, he's a tall guy too. I think you might have a few pounds on him though.
What am I, boyfriend number 2? This is crazy.
I never said you were number 2. I just said you were both.
I am right now. You said he couldn't fill in, so I'm the backup. That's
well,
why.
usually you're busy being the breadwinner, so I can't have you.
All right, fair enough. I'll take that and run with it.
All right. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. We were having some technical difficulties.
We gotta. I have no idea how this setup is occurring right now. I have to have my headphones plugged in, but not wearing them. That's the only way that my sound is coming through.
Yeah. Anyways, while we were waiting, somebody came in and said that Laura had just filed bar complaints against Rachel and Omar, which is unfortunately true. I saw that. Yeah. And then Rachel was going to join us, but she couldn't because of physical therapy. But then she said, what did she say? Sorry, I cannot join. I've been thrown straight into state bar jail. It kind of sucks that you guys couldn't meet because you were both at different.
I haven't been able to tell her thanks because she's been such an integral part. There's been so many people that have become super integral towards pushing this along and getting eyes on it and just keeping momentum going. I was just talking to Stephanie. You met Stephanie, I believe. Yeah. So Steph, I was just telling her how this would not have the momentum if it wasn't for the support of everybody online. I mean, it just couldn't. This has become way bigger than me, way bigger than Mike, way bigger than Greg, all of us. And it's the online community, you guys, the content creators, that has made this possible. I know for a fact, had I just tried to carry this myself, it would have been dead in the water a while back. It's because people were writing letters and just constantly highlighting this that I really think the county attorney just felt here locally was like, hey, people are really paying attention to this, and I think this is important for us to let them know they're being heard. So here we are again. It's incredible how this is all played out, but it would be understated to say that if it wasn't for the community, this would not be a movement.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody's happy to hear from you after all that happened with the charges based on Greg's situation last week. Has it been a week already? It's been less than that, right?
I don't know, but it's been a real great feeling.
Did you have any idea that was going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would tell you or not.
We we get a little information, I suppose, a little bit ahead of time, little birdies here and there that get information and then happen to give me the heads up. So we heard that it was coming, but you never know until it's actually real. And so still it was a massive celebration when that landed. I mean, all last week was a massive celebration. It really was. I mean, the group chat between the guys, just a lot of hope and a lot of coming to fruition. A lot of more so than hope. I guess at this point it's not hope. It's actual just excitement to see accountability be had and gosh, I mean, at a large scale. I've heard. I mean, she's facing serious prison time. I mean,
that's gonna be ugly. She's gonna go down kicking too. It's not good.
Yeah, we're talking years. I didn't think it was gonna be that. I really didn't. I was hoping at most if she gets 6 months behind bars, that would still feel like a win. Now, granted, we don't know what's gonna end up happening, but we're talking. I mean, I've heard 30 to 50 years, and I'm like, that is crazy, crazy. But then again, it's not. I mean, I think this brings up a really, really great thought process here as people go, oh, well, people have gotten put away for less for doing so much more.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that I really want to highlight is how badly she impacted each of our mental healths to the point where dark thoughts have come in, and it wasn't far off from, I think it's fair to say, one of us, potentially going down a dark path where we don't return from it.
Right. Yeah.
So if we take our life at that point, then all of a sudden it's, she's charged for murder. Now all of a sudden that doesn't seem too extreme, those charges. Well, I think we're talking not far off from that. She didn't care if we were to take our lives.
Right.
So I look at it that way and I say, look, you were willing to let us potentially to destroy us mentally to the point where we couldn't function and thought, maybe it was better off if we weren't here. Yeah, I think the charges are definitely fair.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you've spoken on that before, how you've started to feel kind of, like suicidal at a point, like very depressed. I remember, I think it was, what was the name of that podcast? It was with Matt and Abby, was it? Or Matt?
Yeah. The Unplanned podcast.
Yeah, that was a good one. And you talked a little bit about that there.
Yeah, I mean, it got me really emotional at the time just because you just I'm shocked. Like, I want to believe the best in people, and Laura is the darkest soul I've ever come across in my life, personally. It's not even close. I mean, she possesses such a dark energy that I can't believe it even exists, to be honest with you. So, and I can't understand her thought process. I've lost all empathy towards her, though. I gave her it, it's gone. And at this point, I'm just ready to have her be put behind bars and lock the door and throw away the key. I mean, there's nothing left to be said at this point. She's proven to be a major liability that won't stop unless somebody takes away all of her rights. And that's where we need to go with this.
Well, I mean, you were very persistently, I feel, sympathetic to her, even in the middle of your case, kind of like trying to just like give her a chance to walk away and all that. And you always seem to have a level of care for her own mental health that she doesn't seem to possess. So, it wasn't like a quick reactive thing for you to lose empathy for her. I feel like that was something that she kind of, beat out of you over time almost.
Yeah. I mean, and I think too, I was talking to my parents about this. There are certain things that, like, certain pressures I've felt on my shoulders to be the bigger person, to be, the bachelor, like to be able to rise above and be able to handle my emotions and be very refined, but it's almost robotic. And, I would be saying one thing publicly, but feeling something different. And I feel like right now in my life, I'm at a point where I really am living unapologetically myself, like in the best ability that I'm able to. And with that, I believe it's really important for me to allow those emotions to come out. If that's how I feel, like if I feel I lack empathy, then I should be able to say that. If I feel, if I want to call her a name, then, I'll call her a name. Like, I just think, like, to me, it was really hard, and it was wearing me down to try to play like this, I'm above this, I'm bigger than this, I can handle this. And like, I can, but I was suppressing a lot of emotion along the way. And that was, really, that really wore me down a lot. So I'm just trying to be more honest with my feelings now. And that's what that is. I just don't care for her anymore at all. I gave her a chance to, I was like, look, I'm here to be empathetic. I'm here to allow you to potentially, admit fault and seek help. And I wish you the best. And I just don't anymore.
Right. Nor really should you. I think a lot of people have this kind of picture in their minds of what a good person should be. And we kind of limit ourselves to what we can feel or express because of that. So I'm glad you're not limiting yourself to that right now.
Yeah, I just think it was unrealistic. And I again, it was a fear of mine to express certain emotions, because even back from my time on The Bachelor, like when I was on the show and I showed some emotion, I was, fed to the wolves for it. I was called, to extremes. I was called an abusive, individual. I was raising my voice and I was basically, it was like, oh my gosh, this guy is scary. And and it, threw me off. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm not that person. So, I've been letting myself feel things more and telling myself that's the human, within me. I can't suppress that. So, So like, yeah, so whatever, I'm a little bit more unfiltered now, or at least I'm working towards that, and it feels good. But on the bright side, on the positive side, the rush of positive emotions and that I felt in the last week, and I'll tell you, like, honestly, the greatest thing has been seeing the light come back in the hearts and the of the previous victims. It's these guys have fought 2 to 3 times as long as I have. And that takes a tremendous amount of resilience and strength. And I was being beaten down after 2 years, but I had support. Really, I mean, I only had to deal with her for 7 months or whatever behind closed doors. And then when she went public, I mean, I was able to flip the narrative within a month or so. So, I wasn't fighting for longer than maybe 7 months, 8 months, to try to prove my innocence. Because I think once the public narrative switched, I had everyone on my side, and it was much easier. These guys have been fighting. I mean, Mike up to 6 years, longer than that. I think we're talking 10 almost. I mean, he's been in it for so long. So I can just see his excitement. I mean, you can just feel it. And it just it's really rewarding, and it's awesome. He's deserved this, and such a weight off his shoulders, and to be a small part of that has been absolutely incredible. Honestly, it's felt better than getting my own, my own innocence be proven. Like, honestly, it's been it felt so much more powerful to like see someone else be helped.
Well, I know you were there the first time, and Mike and his wife, obviously, when they got the news that it was going to be put off, it was a hard moment. And his wife, Danielle, is like a very smart, impressive lady. So it was hard to see that upset them. But I was really happy for them after this time. You could tell, like, it was a very short time in the courtroom. They gave us a bigger courtroom this time. And like not as many people showed up. And I think there was some weather beforehand. So I was like, I wonder if that played a factor. I don't know. But we were expecting like more people to. So we were out there early. Bruce was like the first person out there.
I think part of it was just not. I think a lot of us believed she wasn't going to actually show up. She was going to try to delay it. And I do believe, while the court system has been fair, it's stuff like being able to file an ADA complaint or paperwork that's like all of a sudden gives her an extension. And I understand the court, having to cross their T's and dot their I's, especially with her, because she'll just, if they decide to ignore that, she's going to use that against them and file a complaint and say that they weren't being accommodating. But it's like, again, what's she going to do next? She's going to try that same thing in January. Like, we know that. So I do think, like, I mean, again, I'm always grateful, and I know you are too. Like, all of us are grateful for whoever shows support, whether it's in person or online. But I truthfully didn't think she was going to show up on this last time around. Oh, well, actually, I was wrong. I did think she was going to, and I was wrong. Well, I've been wrong every time I've tried to forecast what she's going to do. I've been wrong. I'm like, not that we're like out here making bets, but like sometimes I'll tell the guys, I'm like, do you think she's going to show up or not? And I'm always the one that's wrong. Every time.
I don't know, dude. So like, I don't know her the way you do, but at the same time, for some reason, I pin her right every time, and I think it annoys her. So it's fun.
Well, I mean, again, I don't know why I can't seem to figure it out. Like, I think I know, and I'm like, she's gonna and I've guessed a few times, like and I've been wrong. So but yeah, I think it's just, it was short lived, but like so I mean, freeing obviously to see, and like, again, for her to try to, I didn't even know at first it was a lifetime that she was trying to get put on him. It's like, it impacts you on such a large scale, especially if you're working like W-2 with companies. Like, they're going to find that every time, the fact that I don't really work, I'm a contractor, and I'm, I do some entrepreneurial stuff. Like, it didn't really impact me too much. Like, twice it impacted me. One time when I was coming back from Perfect Match and I was going through customs and they flagged me.
What does that mean? Exactly. What happens?
Well, they stopped me because they said, hey, you have a restraining order. We need to make sure that she's not on the flight with you. And, it was embarrassing. I had a woman behind me that was probably mid-40s. All of a sudden the officer says this, like, you have a restraining order, and she's looking at me like I'm a woman beater. And I called my lawyer fuming. I called Greg. I was pissed. I was like, we need to get this off I can't, like, this is bullshit. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm being looked at like I'm something I'm not. So that was one time. That was really it. So I guess the other time actually was I was looking to buy a weapon, and they flagged me for the same reason.
Oh no. Wait, so is that still a problem? So I know that expired now. So if you went to like go buy a weapon now, would that still be a problem?
No. So we're fine. But it's still at the time I'm like, look, this is crazy. Like, I need this for my own defense, and I'm the one that's being stopped from from having a home defense weapon,
right,
in the event that, like, she shows up. And so, God forbid I ever have to use something, but like, she's, you just don't know. Like, you just don't know with Laura, like, her antics, and she showed up to people's homes prior. So like, you just are like, look, I'm not willing to take a chance. So I'm glad. I was surprised she didn't renew.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. If you were surprised she didn't try to get a new one. I
don't know her reasoning.
She'll make up something though, but like,
right.
I guess her criminal attorney's like locking that shit down.
I think he has to be, because I honestly was just like, look, you've renewed it for the other guys. I don't know. My brain said like that she didn't want to poke the bear because she knows I get pissed off when she starts, doing this stuff, and then I start causing an uproar online. But like, at this point, anything she does is causing an uproar. And look at look at what the community came together and did for Mike. What was it, 48,000 or something crazy?
I think we're still counting on that. It's not too late to help him out. I know his legal fees exceeded six figures. So, I know how quickly that stuff adds up. Yeah.
It's it's so incredible. I saw that it raised like, what was 15-20 grand within 24 hours at one point. It was flying. And again, like, it's just what I was talking to my family about was Laura.
Hi, by the way.
Tell Joni I said hello. And I was just talking to my family about this. What Laura has done is united so many different people that have went through actual painful experiences that she hasn't went through, but that she claims she's went through. And then she's pissing people off that have actually, went through it, and said like, you don't know what it's like at all to go through this. And how dare you lie about this? She's lied about cancer. She's lied about giving birth and having a miscarriage. She's lied about domestic abuse. She's lied about, everything. And so it's like, she's pissing people. I've talked to people and they're like, the reason I'm here is because she lied about something I actually went through. And so I'm like, Laura, you're uniting people from all these different walks of life that have went through all of these things, and you're pissing them off. You're literally, you're picking at their scabs, like their biggest wounds, and you're disrespecting them by lying about something that you didn't go through that they have. And so like, you're lighting a massive fire under people's, under them, that, because they've went through it. You're picking at their biggest wounds, and that's where it's like, she just keeps dumping gasoline on the fires, and it's just all these different fires from people across the world. It's uniting everybody, but like, that's where, again, it's like, I don't think none of us want to actually be here. Like, none of us actually want to be in this situation, but but now that we're all here, we're like, we might as well fight tooth and nail. And we're, and it's like, if she's going to fight this hard, then we are. And so I'm sure Laura's felt that she can't outfight or maneuver this audience. It goes to a horse show, people capture it right away. Like, she's being watched.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure to see that, and like the way that there's multiple people who like went out there to like prove it. Basically, they're like, we heard she's in this horse show, so multiple people went out there. My friend Scott, who he and I filmed your trial back in June. He was the one helping with the cameras. I didn't have any equipment, so he showed up for me like big time. Scott went out there and he saw her doing that and took some pictures.
It's just incredible. Like, again, it's how thorough people and how dedicated they are to do this. Nobody's paying them, and they're willing to do this just out of the kindness of their heart and for the sake of justice. And that is like, that's what's blown me away, is talking to people that have been in this. And I'm like, what's your why? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? And to hear their stories and to go, oh, wow, there's an emotional tie. as there appears to be with the majority of people that are here. And I mean, the second that you pull at someone's emotional heartstring, it's game on. Like you've created a beast where now all of a sudden you unify people, and it's just like we have this incredible. Opposition will call it a cult, but I'm like, it's not a cult at all. This is a welcoming environment.
Well, not to brag, but I've been deemed the cult leader in official documents. So like, it's just what the fuck.
It's pretty cool. You're like, hey,
it's not cool, man.
It's cool because it's if it's a cult, it's then what a cult. What an incredible welcoming group. Again, everyone that I meet.
I think that's just called a club, dude.
Yeah, let's call it whatever you call it, whatever we want to call it. But like the point is like this. A cult, makes you think it's crazy. We whacked out people that are detrimental to society, and I have been so blown away by the normalcy of the people that I've met. Everyone has their quirks, but like I think you're like you never know who you're gonna meet and who's behind a camera or behind a username, and I've just been like so blown away with how incredible people have been, and respectful and just normal. And I'll never forget, it was it last June? Yeah. When the trial, like when I had my trial or like that day in court, and so many people showed up, and it was incredible how the respect and how everybody was outside of the courtroom. Everyone was, just giving me my space and my family. But there was a few people that had, booked my Airbnb, and and I went by, and I was thinking at first, I'm like, oh, they're, I guess I was thinking they were going to be Bachelor fans. I was like, they booked it. Like they, they're out here. No, I show up and like they're like, hey, Clayton, like super nice. Yeah. And I think I met maybe like 10 minutes and they're like, I was there, and they're like, all right, well, hey, like really appreciate you coming by. Like, we'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay, you guys have fun. They're like, I thought this was going to be like an hour thing where like you guys are going to ask me questions about the show, because I get people that book my Airbnb and they ask me a ton of questions and take photos. And no, it was like they were just like, well, cool, we'll be there tomorrow. Like, see ya. And I was like, oh, God. But that's when I started to realize too, like how this is so much bigger. That it's not about me. It hasn't been about me for a long while. Like the second the other victims came into the mix, people are like, I'm fighting for justice. This has nothing to do with Clayton. Respectfully, like I'm here just because I want to see justice be served. And I think that's been really, really cool. I really appreciate that. And I want these other victims to get, oh yeah, Bruce. Okay. He said, yeah, we want to bug you. No, you guys were awesome. Like, again, I didn't see it as disrespectful. I just was like, oh, wow. Like this has become, again, like they're like, it wasn't what I expected, like what I was expecting in the best possible way. Like, again, I would have been fine with talking for an hour about it, but it was like what I'm getting at is I felt it was such a human interaction, right? It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's Clayton the Bachelor, like, which for a while I used to get.
Were you the Bachelor? Fuck.
Exactly right. Yeah. Like I used to get put up on this pedestal that I was like, guys, just don't make me be like, just treat me as a human. Don't treat me as like this, this Bachelor or whatever. And like, that's what it was. When I went over to the house, it was like just a guy and caught up in a court case that had support from people around the country. And I was like, wow, like really, truly this community is treating me as I am, and how freeing, because I have really, sometimes struggled with being put up on a pedestal and being seen as, as the Bachelor and not Clayton, the guy from the Missouri, like I there's days where I appreciate obviously having that ability to spark conversation from my time on TV. But for most times I'm like, guys, I'm not perfect. I just want to be seen as like a flawed human that, that accepts blowjobs and gets in trouble for them.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I asked you not to tell people what we do in private.
Okay, now it's like, hey guys, like it's no secret now that
Wait, okay, hold on.
I told my mom this. I told my mom this recently. I got to share this. I thought it was hilarious. My mom won't go for this, but I was like, Mom, I go, you know what? I said, it's crazy. I said, I think you got to admit that like me receiving blowjobs is why justice is now being served. I said, so I think we can all admit that the blowjob was for a purpose.
Like I've said some weird shit to my mom, but that kind of takes the cake.
She's like, well, my mom grew up in a household of only boys, no daughters. And so with the stuff I've said in front of my mom with my brothers, she's like, Clayton, ew, no. And I'm like, Mom, but like, if I didn't get a blowjob, justice wouldn't have been served. So
decades of crime would go unpunished.
Was stopped by some tonsil twins.
Wait, okay. Question: do you ever get any like really weird like fan mail or like love letters? Like, do you get my letters? Is that you know what I mean?
Well, I always love them. I write back. What do you mean?
Right. But do you like get like weird fan letters?
No. I've had one person that like it was very weird, and she still messages me. She claims that I tried to communicate with her through the TV. So when she watched
what?
So when she watched the show, she was like, you were trying to communicate me when I got your message, and I want to be with you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. After she kept sending messages every day, she even actually flew to Phoenix on National Boyfriend Day.
What? There's
and
National Boyfriend Day?
She waited for me to pick her up at the airport. I didn't, and I didn't, but I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, hopefully she doesn't find my house or whatever.
Wait, how did you find out? She like messaged you, I'm at the airport. Where are you?
Yeah, I would go into my DMs and I would see like she messaged me every day. And that day I just felt like I clicked into her DM and she was like, hey, are you coming to get me? And I was like, what? And I saw her that she sent her travel receipt. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here?
I booked your Airbnb, Clayton. I'm ready.
She's been harmless. I mean, like she's married, which is also interesting, but she's been harmless. Like she just thinks I was trying to communicate with her through the TV. So that was pretty interesting. Other than that though, like, no, I leaked my phone number one time online for real estate because I wasn't thinking. And I was like, hey, reach out to me if you need help with real estate. And I got called by like 5 people in the course of 24 hours. They're like, hey, you put your cell phone up online. I was like, I did. I was like, whatever. And people are like, oh, well, super cool to talk to you. Have a great day. Like, that was it. So not to
brag, but my phone number was recently published on jingrislaw.com. So.
There you go. So you've been getting.
No one's called me yet.
No one's called you yet. No, all right, everybody. Whoever's listening, start prank calling Lauren.
Oof, okay. Fake Laura Owens. Thank you for the $2. Oh, good. You've been getting my mail.
Yeah, there you go. See, perfect. Well, that's I honestly, again, it's been awesome. Like, I really do feel like this community. It's just I've been so impressed by everyone I've met, and it's been awesome. Like to really see like so many people come together and heal within from their own stories and sharing with other people. I mean, I feel like this community has really grown to be like a support system for other individuals that have went through something similar.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunately, and I think it's not common for what happened to you to happen, but it is unfortunately, like, I think a lot of people don't realize because people who go through stuff like this on a smaller scale, it's like, it's embarrassing to have someone accuse you of impregnating them falsely and stuff like that, or accuse you of like assaulting them. So like people don't want you to know that. So you just don't hear about it a lot, but there are people with like these personality disorders and compulsions and stuff like that who will all the time just like fake shit like that. And they have nowhere to go because they're like, I'm too embarrassed to like go forward and tell people about this. What is anybody going to do for me? So I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where, again, like I've had people open up in this community and share with me their reason for, why they're here. And it's been incredible. And it's been just to see, like, again, I'm so happy that the individuals are sharing their story because I'm like, suppression isn't the answer. Like it's being able to address what you've went through with the right people to be able to put it out there. And then, you might find healing through that, addressing of the issues. It's, again, like it's been healing for me to have a community that has been supportive of me and has said like, look, like Clayton's not perfect, but like he's trying his best. And like, that's, we can support that. And again, like it's been really cool. Like I said, I was blown away like last year when I had people show up for the trial. I couldn't believe how many people showed up. I was so thrown off. I was like, wow. And I was already pretty emotional, but because for other reasons I was, had anger was coursing through my veins that day. But
I saw the face. Yeah.
Yeah. But like there was a moment where like I felt like, tearing up just because I remember seeing the line and being like, I can't believe people would, go out of their way to be here and support me. It meant a lot. So, and I know it means a lot to the other guys as well.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like I can't tell you how happy they are right now. Like I can't even put it into words. I mean, Mike is cracking me up because he's all of a sudden now every post he's like posting like comments and memes and gifs, and I'm like, that's right. Like I saw even posted
Unleashed.
Like it's beautiful. Like you can sense his excitement. I saw on Reddit, he made a post and the amount of support. It's like sweet. he deserves that. He deserves to be able to feel that. And I'm telling you, like it feels incredible to see that, to be able to like get that and be like, hey, I'm not alone. And it was awesome. I saw his posts and I could feel, and again, I've also heard him on the phone. I've seen the smile on his face, you know, his text messages. He's texting in all caps. I mean, this man is revved up right now, and he deserves every bit of it. It's and now it's just like, hey, you know, let's turn it to Greg and let's get that, you know, let's get that restraining order taken off. You know, let's slowly like take these things down brick by brick. But you know, of course, like I believe it's all coming together. I know that he was, you know, I know that. Yeah. Obviously seeing what happened to Mike now shows that it can be, you know, replicated and can just be taken into consideration.
Which is the restraining order. So she got another one against him, like not that long ago.
Yeah.
So can that, if she's, you know, convicted or something, can that go away? Do you know anything about that? Because I haven't asked anyone who knows the law. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you have to. It's like you would think. My understand. I thought you'd just be like, hey, she's guilty. Okay, so now that she's guilty, can we just wipe out all this bullshit she's put out?
Right.
But it's more like you have to address it directly. So you have to like go file separately to say, hey, we want to remove this.
Yeah, that's okay.
And yeah, it's kind of like, guys, like, why do we need to do all that? Why can't we just be like, hey guys, look, like she got indicted, you know, for lying. So can we just take everything she's done and wipe it out? Yeah. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, because it's just more paperwork and time and money.
I'm reading a comment, and I've seen like comments like this obviously before. This has been a topic of conversation. I'm not going to ask, like, I don't use people's names if they haven't come out publicly associated with somebody, especially an abuser like Laura. So I'm not going to use his name. But have you ever talked to the fourth victim?
No.
Okay.
No, I know two names, so I know there's a fifth.
Yeah, I've heard very little about the fifth, but there's another one that predated Mike that I think.
Yeah, I know two, and no, I've never spoken to either of those two. Yeah. My understanding is they want their privacy, and I get it. You know, I totally understand. I have heard one of them is getting close to speaking up. So, again, that's all I've heard. But I've just heard like there's one of them that's now like, hey, they want to speak up, and so. That's encouraging. I certainly respect their right to privacy, but if they want to speak up, I mean, we welcome them with open arms. It's like, yeah, please, like you're going to find a brotherhood in this, because we've created a brotherhood in just a big community through all this. And again, like look at Mike, look at what this can bring you. Look at this, like look at the love and support, and just look at the smile on his face. I watched your guys' interview from last week. Uh-huh. And you can just see it, like the light is back in his eyes, and how grateful he is for you and everybody else. I watched it, and it made me so happy, because I was like, that's the Mike that, you know, needs to exist, right? Like that's the Mike that we need in this world, not, you know, the Mike that was, you know, that was fighting, but just was, you know, losing hope. It's like, I get it, right? Well, I think we all understand where he was at, but this is the Mike that the world deserves to see is the one that we get right now.
Yeah. I think there's just like, I could imagine, especially being so isolated, being like the first, feeling like there's just no way anything good is going to come of me trying to fight this. I know even with you, who had publicity kind of before this situation, it was very hard for you to get like the bigger people to pick up your story. And I felt like that was because nobody really wants to go with the woman abuser, male victim narrative, unfortunately. And like, that's not how it should be, but I felt like that's kind of how it was. I know that
and they were the opposition. Again, this is something I wasn't speaking up on because I didn't want to piss anybody off, but like it's
the truth, you know, if you
don't say it. And I saw it, you know, people were like, oh great, if here goes Clayton, so he's going to use this for his men's right activism. And I'm like, I have never
Clayton is not a men's rights activist. Okay.
I've never said that I was one. I've never supported that cause.
I never got that impression a single time.
And here's the thing, like everyone, again, like I've seen it, and it's like, you just don't want to support the male victim. That's what it is. But you're trying to say that I'm spinning this for men's right activism. I was like, do you understand that the 95% or 90% of this audience and this support and community is likely female? I don't know the exact percentage, but like it's a large percentage. I was like, if I was a men's right activist, then I would need to reevaluate myself, because all of my supporters are women. And so I'm like, and that's what's driving it. And that's what's so great and it's helped. I couldn't do this without women. And
Yeah.
and I joke. I'm like, I love women too much. It's what gets me in trouble. But like on a serious note, it's like
You probably tell your mom that too.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
me too.
I've made all these jokes. Like
Oh,
my mom is just at this point, just like, she just like, you go in one ear and out the other. She's like, she doesn't even, she's not even impacted anymore, even if we try to get her to.
It's fantastic.
But like the thing is I know that my audience, again, I can see my analytics online. It's 93% women. And then like a lot of this community I see is women. So I'm like, great, this is awesome and incredible. This also helps me because, when men are fighting, for a cause, it helps to have women, especially when the women can fight back towards the woman that's, the aggressor. And that's what's been so powerful. And especially even like when we had Deandra, when she, and she was there, representing me, how powerful to have a woman that's actually been pregnant that can call out bullshit for what it is. Meanwhile, you got guys like me, and Woodnick is incredible, super smart, but it's like Woodnick fighting something, talking about pregnancy. It's like, well, we're not women, so we really can't speak to this. Yeah. So, that whole opposition bullshit is ridiculous. It's like, I'm not a men's rights activist. I would never advocate for it. I advocate for, I wish we'd just leave gender out of it. Like, let's just fight for, the equality. Let's fight for like just believing victims. I hate how people try to but again, I think people that try to turn it into like, he's a men's rights activist, they're really trying to mask their own misandry, like their hatred of men. Like they're trying to spin it and be like, no, he hates women. It's like, no. I think you hate men is what it is. Don't put this on me.
I know, you've been so nice to me. I'm like a whole lesbian, so I think you're fine. And I mean, don't worry about it, So like the things that she triggers, like the DV, the miscarriages, all that stuff, it's so triggering to such a widespread population of women that I feel like it does make it very difficult for people to confront the idea that someone is not telling the truth about that, and that actually women can be in the wrong in these situations. And it's a hard thing to confront, especially when you've been through abuse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people go into this mode of denial in all the wrong ways. And I think we see that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just unfortunate because, again, like I think, hey, you know what? We won't dwell on the negative. At the end of the day, the support's here, the traction's picking up. At the end of the day, I really feel very confident we're going to get the outcome we want, which is really just like accountability in the form of prison time. And I really feel like at this point, if we're looking at 57 years or whatever I keep hearing, 5-10 years would be great.
Well, she'll be pregnant again at 80. So,
it's just, I wish there was an alternative scenario. There just isn't. Like she's if she gets away from, oh my gosh, like this is where it's like, if the court allows her to get away with a slap on the wrist, it's all like the next victim I feel bad for. Like they can't let her get off scot-free without prison time. They can't. Like they just can't. If they do that, she'll feel invincible. Like she has to pay a heavy price. Otherwise she will go do this again.
Yeah, somebody was asking me before I saw this, does Clayton still feel Jan is complicit?
Okay, I've changed my mind. Yes, I have changed my tune recently in light of more reflection. I think Laura, I was placing a lot of blame on her mom's shoulders and saying her mother is the one that raised this monster, and like basically instilled these beliefs into her. I've since have flipped. I think she was never held accountable, and her parents weren't really ones to weren't ones to reprimand her, or to, if she were to do something wrong, to put her in timeout or ground her, or like she never faced any type of punishment for like her wrongdoing. And so that going on unchecked, I think Laura took advantage of that and then started to become abusive towards her parents. And it would, maybe I'm wrong again, but I feel like when I saw that body cam come out, her parents have no control over her. And I think they lost control of her a long time ago.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch.
And I think like it's a matter of like they can't do anything about it. Like Laura makes their lives a living hell. Right. And they can't like disown her because I think they're afraid of her. I do think like they're afraid, and they don't have the ability to like send her somewhere. She is an adult, but she like lives in their house. Yeah. But I also think something to consider as well is I think her sister's much more complicit, and I'm finding out more so than we realize.
Okay.
I think her sister has a heavy play in all of this, and I think she's pulling strings from afar, and I think that tricked me at first because I thought that maybe she was distanced herself from her family on purpose, but to like stay away from all of it. But now I'm starting to wonder if maybe her sister is more involved than what I first realized.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a very quiet figure in all of this, so it's hard. It's been hard to tell. I know I've seen different theories float back and forth, but I'm like, I really know nothing about this chick. So
yeah, and I think that though is what I find to be really interesting is like she's not stood up and said I don't condone this behavior.
Taking her ultrasound,
yeah, like she's allowing her to take her ultrasound, so she's complicit in that respect. But it makes you wonder, like, is she, the one that's appearing to be so far removed when really could she be like the puppet master? I mean, it makes you start to wonder because again, after seeing that body cam footage, I don't think Jan has any control over her daughter whatsoever, and I think Laura honestly is just like in full control of her parents, and there's nothing they can do about it, and they can't again like. They messed up years ago by not, holding her accountable when she was a child wrongdoing. They were getting her out of all of any issues at school. It sounds like if she had issues, they were, getting her out of it and had influence in San Francisco. And so like Laura took that to the head and thought she was invincible. And I think that's where now like they can't stop the monster they created.
Well, that kind of fuels these compulsions too, where she's like, there's never going to be any consequences. I just have to try harder at what I'm doing, where she's texting you from 13 different phone numbers, or she's emailing Omar crazy different things at night before Mike's hearing. Like that kind of background just kind of feeds that. I feel like it's like, I have to do something. I have to do more of this. As long as I keep doing this and I keep manipulating this in some way, it's going to work out for me. So
if you were raised in a household where you never faced accountability for anything, like you never were in the wrong because your parents could, use their influence, their power, their money. I would say that if you never, ever were wrong, then like, why start now? And I think that would make sense to me if I were trying to understand how she could go the distance here. It's because in her mind, she can't be wrong because she's never been wrong because she actually has always been wrong.
Well, yeah.
She's never faced accountability.
Right.
For being wrong. She's never been reprimanded for being wrong. Therefore, in her eyes, she's never been wrong. So she will never be wrong in her eyes. So she's like, I just have to continue to fight and I will be proven right. And again, like, I don't know if she's ever once been reprimanded or faced accountability. So like this to her is new. And I don't think she thinks she can fight her way out of it still, which yeah, it's a delusion, but again, I guess if you're raised that way,
right.
She's convinced that she can get out of it like she always has.
Mm-hmm. And some of what you just said in the last couple of minutes fed into this question here. Melinda McReynolds, thank you for the 10. Would love to know Clayton's reaction on the search warrant video. If he's watched it, can't blame him if he didn't. You talked a little bit about the parents. I don't know if you had any else on that, but
yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
I watched it when I was eating breakfast one morning. I was cheesing.
Before 7 in the morning?
Yeah, I was up before 7 in the morning. Okay. That cracked me up. My favorite part was when the one officer, which they did such an incredible job. They definitely had prepped beforehand. They're like, look, this girl, like body cams on, this girl's going to make accusations that are wild. And she tried. She was like, your guns are drawn. It was like,
he was just standing there talking to her. Like, you're putting your guns at me.
My favorite was the one officer.
Yeah.
She's like, whoa. Where does it say you can take my mom's phone? And he's like, Laura, you didn't even read it. That was my favorite passive aggressive. Like it was not what we call it passive aggressive. He was just being honest. He's like, Laura, you didn't even read it. That was my favorite guy in the entire thing. I died laughing. And he's like, if you just take like 3 minutes and read it, Laura. Yeah. And he's like, you didn't read it. I just love that because she was like, I could tell. I was like, this guy was like towing the line. And they were, they were doing their best, like to keep cool. And so they were again, like, she's like, you're going to cause bruises. And you can see his hand is just like resting like this, not even closed. They were such an incredible job. I know some people are like, oh, well, what privilege that she can be handled so carefully, but it's like, no, guys, I get that. Like they gave her a lot of slack, and you're like, look, like she should be, thrown in cuffs and pinned down to the ground, but they knew that she would just turn that on them. So they did. I assume that's why that's what I saw it as. I was like, they were like, look, we got to be extra cautious. This girl, if you touch her, poke her, she's gonna claim abuse. So
I have a little bit of a bias, I think, because I wanted her to be put in cuffs. So I'm kind of like, well, why aren't you putting? You know what I mean? Why aren't you putting her in cuffs?
Oh no, I wanted to see a little suplex, like stop resisting, but no, like that's. Like they did a great job, and because again, like they knew that she was gonna come after, anything. If one guy messed up, like if one guy would have just crossed the line or gotten a little too heated by what she was saying, I mean the entitlement, it's like fuck you guys. It's like Laura, your house is raided right now.
Like double birding the police. Like
she's birding the police. I'm like Laura, you got officers in uniform. With SWAT team, what are you doing?
Warrant, oh my god!
I mean, at that point, if I got SWAT in my house,
they're like just trying to walk through the room, and she's like freaking out. Like
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like that. It just blows my mind. Again, like I've been pulled over a couple times in my life. One time one time I got it was pretty crazy. It was in my hometown, and a grocery store got robbed, and they said it was two men in a pickup truck, and me and my brother happened to be riding in a pickup truck. And, we get pulled over, and all of a sudden the cops pull their guns, and we're like, whoa. I'm my hands on the dash, my windows down. I'm like, again, you're like, cops.
That's not normal.
Serious matter. But again, you're like, look, I'm going to be fully compliant. No, Laura's over here like, fuck you guys. And I'm like, what?
Don't hurt me, and I'll do what you want.
Exactly.
The couch. Yeah. They weren't even asking her to give up her keys or anything like that.
Yeah, no. I was like, Laura, what? Oh my gosh. Like you were just like the level of entitlement that you're burdening these SWAT officers. Yeah, it was
a little bad. I know that people don't, want to feel bad for Ron because like the family's been enabling, right? But I did feel a little bad when they were like getting the footage of him in his underwear in the room. I was kind of like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's so hard. It's like, do you feel bad for him? Do you not? Like,
I go back and forth, dude.
Yeah, because I don't really know, like, until they speak up. I mean, again, Laura's mom, the whole, like, I saw from one of the court things, like, someone recorded her. She was like, walking by, she's like, thanks for your support, being a smart ass.
Oh, Jan can fuck herself, in my opinion.
Yeah, So I kind of feel like she's like, again, I have no respect for her.
No.
I don't know. Again, like he's got dementia or whatever he has. So
he's got Parkinson's, I think.
Yeah, Parkinson's. So like, is he all the way there mentally? I don't know. Like, give him the benefit of the doubt. It's hard to say. Like again, like who's really the ringleader, or if this is just all some sick, twisted family, ordeal that they love to just like all be a part of. Well, maybe we'll get answers one day. Again, we have an accomplice that we don't know who it is yet, but like. Right. Whoever's the accomplice is going to have to answer to some questions. So
I guess so.
Yeah.
Let's try to get through some more of these. Cat Lady Ballerina, thank you for $2. 265K views of Laura on Law and Crime. That's cute. Well, I guess the media started answering her emails from 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like it's cool to finally see, and I think Inside Edition, I thought was the catalyst for that. Like all of a sudden, because Inside Edition is a pretty big deal. Like for that to get picked up. Yeah. And then now it's just like,
Rachel's got some pull. So
yes, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I was gonna say it, but great. I heard Rachel pulled some strings for.
No, you guys really need to talk. She's a great person.
I mean, look, anybody that's willing to help out is a friend to me, and is someone that I'm extremely grateful for. Again, like I could not. This is not my doing. I guess I was just the face initially, and that's it though. It's like from here on out. I mean. Again, call it whatever you want. I've seen some people be like, "Can we switch the name?" I'm like, "Fine, switch the name. I don't switch from Justice for Clayton. As long as we got justice for all. Like, I don't care. Like, I love the fact right now that the other victims are having their day. It's like because I've had mine. And again, so it's just like for me, I'm like, whatever we all can get behind and to get big numbers bigger, I don't care. Like, let's just keep this thing going and let's just see it to the end, and then hopefully we can all go our happy separate ways. Or maybe there's a community, and I think there's friends that have come from this and people that have, the community that'll always be there. It's crazy though what can bring people together.
Yeah. Let's see. There was one here. This is a black chair. Thank you, Julie. The black chair, I guess, is Ron has a special chair. I think that they didn't want.
Oh, they were like wheeling it in or something, or like talking about you couldn't sit down in one of them, and oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Kelly, thank you for being a member for 3 months. This story I've taught my 4 boys to pay attention to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think too. I mean, that's again, you got to be. You know what? I knew from the get-go, from the first conversation I had with Laura when I told her no when she wanted to date me after the night that we hooked up, I knew something was off. I saw her. I felt her energy change. I'll tell you, it was the darkest energy I've ever felt in my life. And I knew that was before she claimed she was pregnant. So I think, this is for me that it's like, hey, like it's important to really trust your intuition. And if you feel like something's off, to not brush it aside and go, no, that can't be. Because I did that early on. I was like, I'm either dealing with the craziest woman I've ever met, or I'm dealing with someone who's telling the truth. And that's why I fought so hard. At first, my brain was like, maybe she's telling the truth, because I can't imagine I'm actually up against this level of evil. And that caused me to kind of dwell upon, like to struggle with, is it true or is it not? When I should have just jumped straight to this is evil.
Yeah.
But because my intuition was screaming at me like, no, you were up against something really, really dangerous. But I didn't want to. I guess I was fearfully not wanting to admit that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I actually ever talked to Mike about this, because I didn't talk to Mike much until his case was over. Kind of like I didn't talk to you really until your court case was over, because I was like, I don't really want to interfere in a way where I'm gonna, let's say, be brought up as a cult leader in a court filing.
Yeah.
But, it happened anyways. But I had an ex a long time ago. I was still a teenager who faked brain cancer and ruined a really important part of my life. Went for like recruiting and swimming and all the stuff that was the most important to me back then. And it was the most obvious thing ever looking back on it. And even though I was like a kid, kind of, it's like, I still feel stupid for not like questioning more stuff, or like not being like, this is obviously just somebody batshit crazy who's doing something terrible to me. It's just a bad feeling.
It is. And, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace for being like, why couldn't you have seen this, earlier? And geez, like, where's your discernment at? But I think, again, we're all human, like going through an experience for the first time, and some of us want to believe the best in people, and so therefore we give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And that gets used against us. So I've learned to be more kind on my own self, to say, hey, I if anything, maybe I'm just really forgiving, and I expect the best out of people, and that's not a bad quality to have. But like, you just have to be careful, because that can be taken advantage of. Which just people on this planet that are willing to take what they want from people to benefit themselves.
Mm-hmm. I had this like extra layer of confusing stuff too, because she was a boarding student at my school. So I went, like, shortly after she said that she was sick, I flew to Austria with her to be with her and her family. They only spoke German. I didn't speak any German. So I was like there with her family, who obviously knew she wasn't sick, but I'm like, I can't communicate with these people.
Yeah.
It's a very weird time in my life when I look back and I'm like, so many weird things happened to me.
But I feel like it probably, you've learned a lot, I would think, from them. Like, even reflecting back, sometimes we don't learn the lessons right away. We learn them 10, 15 years later when we go through therapy. Which,
I go into denial for a while, and then I'll like figure it out later on.
That's a stage of grief, though. Like that's I've learned that through therapy, like the 5 stages of grief. It's like denial is one of the first ones, and then the anger, and then the bargaining with the higher power of like, if you take this away from me, then I'll be a better person. Whatever. Like, you start to realize that a lot of this, like, we're humans, which means we have a lot more in common with, like, when we start dealing with grief, it's like we go through these stages, not even realizing there's 5 stages that exist, but realizing, like, because we're human, like, we're hardwired to respond a certain way. And a lot of people around us respond similarly, which, again, like, that's where I found to be this community has been awesome, because I'm talking to people and they're like, yeah, I felt that same feeling. I'm like, okay, so even though you didn't go through exactly what I've gone through, you felt broken, you felt hopeless, you've found yourself at rock bottom. And so, what this feels like. So I'm not alone in this, right? Like, there's a lot of parallels. Again, like, and I think that's what we are all drawn together by emotion. I really do feel like this is such an emotionally charged issue, and she's poked at so many people's emotions that here we are. We got this big old just emotional mass of a cult.
Well,
that's fine.
Let's see. Car POV, thank you for the $2. She's gotten away with too much for too long. Yeah, I think I might have read that one already. Let's see.
I saw somebody say, I saw something about imagining you as a superhero in your underoos. I thought that was worth bringing up. I'm
gonna read this first, and then we can think about my underwear. Sitting in Chief, thank you for the $5. Laura is going to get in court what Gingras gets before driving. Completely wasted. My bet on sentencing is 20 to 30 years unless she takes a plea deal. She's not going to take a plea deal. So where's this underwear comment?
Should we? So you don't think she'll take a plea deal? See, I feel like I'm always wrong, but I really feel like if she's faced with 30 plus years, I gotta think she takes a plea deal. I could be wrong for the again. And
well, I'm really glad you said that because I think she doesn't want to do what you say she's going to do.
All right, well, Laura, I think you're going to take a plea deal.
Okay.
So don't do it. But do it.
I just don't see it happening. I think that she's gonna ride this wave of like a horrible destructive compulsion into oblivion until like she's in a jail cell. I don't think
I will again, like the psychological component to me is what's so fascinating. I'm like Laura, I want to understand. Like I want to tap into her mind just to be like, what is going on? Like if you don't take a plea deal, girl, you're talking about 30 plus years in prison. Like when you're behind in a jail cell, you're like, I could have taken a plea deal and probably had like a fraction of the time.
Well, she'll write that in her letter to the state bar when she complains about the prosecutor. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I'm like, does her brain go that far ahead? Does she consider that she might be in a box for 30 years? Like that's what I would, because that's what I would do if I was facing. I'd be like, well, first off, I would.
Yeah, but you're a smarter dude than she is.
It's not even a matter of intelligence. Like that's the
thing. You have
shame. This doesn't require a high intellectual capacity to be like, you're facing 30 years in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. What's my plea deal on this? Just so I'm aware. Like your plea deal's 1 year. Okay. So basically I can do a year in prison or I could risk doing 30. Like considering, again, then I would go, okay, well, I've lied about everything. So I'm caught. I'd be like, hey, give me the plea deal. I wouldn't even think twice. So I just like, to me, I'm like, Laura, if you don't take a plea deal, like what is going on inside that mind of yours? Like, I want to know. I don't get it.
I think it comes down to how much of this is a true delusion versus how much of this is like hubris and just like bad behavior. And that's a hard thing to nail down right now because I flip back and forth all the time these days. So
yeah.
But, I mean, you've been way more up close and personal with her than I have. So
there's something that I like want to. Gosh, there's something that I can't say it. I have some inside info, but like I hate. I can't say it only because it would probably give up somebody.
No.
Yeah, and then I know it's frustrating. Now I'm that guy.
No, you're fine. Don't even worry.
Yeah, there was something I wanted because there was something that would like make sense as to why she thinks the way that she does. I heard something that she said. I'll just put it that way. Yeah. That really like clicked in my head where I was like, oh wow, like let's just put it this way. She likes the attention.
Oh yeah, that seems to be true. How do you think that she's feeling now that she's finally getting all the press she wanted and she's muzzled? Like that fucking sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean. Again, I don't know. Like that's where I wonder. I'm like, what has her lawyer said to her? Like, if you say one word, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, she's.
He seems. I mean, he's legit. You know, he seems legit. I like. She's got a lawyer that I mean has some control over her, which is incredible enough because Gingras never had that. And
David
then
Gingras is my hero. He made this happen.
Again, like another guy that is just like, dude, like just wants the attention, and it's like, go away. Like you're like, I'm sorry that like you need to go to therapy or something and figure out why you want to be a part of this. Like when you know that like again, he's got his own issues, and again, I wish like he would just go seek help for himself. Like he wants to attack people, and it's like I see a wounded person. I'm like, dude, just. Like you just got busted for driving under the influence, like, which makes you human. I'll give you empathy, but bro, go get help. Like, don't associate with this woman. Like, you can be better than this. You can be bigger than this, but you instead want to associate with her. Like, you're not her. Like, Gingras is not her. I'm like, dude, you're not her. Don't associate with her because you're literally playing in the same pond with her. Which now we're all looking at you like you are her, like you're one of her.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you want to be that? Like, I don't get it with him either, but I'm like, he's not her. And I'm like, dude, like go back out of this. Like go just, you got some issues you got to work through. And I think he's a part of that older generation that just never went and seeked help. So it's like, So I think that's where he's tried to take it on his own shoulders. And it's like, brother, you're hurt. I can see it in your eyes. Like you're very damaged. You've,
he doesn't seem like a happy. It's interesting because like when he first came into this and he was like somewhat removed from like the very emotional and like attacking people part of it, he seemed like he had some charm, like he had some humor. He was just like maybe a little eccentric but normal person, and then he just spiraled.
So. Yeah, well, and like I've talked to him, and he was fine on a Zoom call. Like he was.
And Omar said the same thing, like on the phone or whatever.
He was respectful. Yeah, he was respectful to me. He was, he was a nice guy. Like that's where I was just like, dude, this girl's lying. Like, why? What happened? Like, I don't know. Did you guys like something happen with you and Laura? Like that you're caught in something where like you have to represent her now? Like, I don't, because again, like I talked to him and I'm like, dude. Like her other lawyers dropped her, and I had no issue with them.
Right.
Like I like they got it. They backed out, and I'm like, Gingras, like, you've only made yourself look like an ass because you've fought back so hard when nobody believes anything that Laura's saying. So like, again, I'm like, you could totally back out, and we could all move on. Like I saw a video where people were like, oh, her previous, I liked it. It was. One of the social media pages was like highlighting her previous lawyers and like seeing the light and being the bigger person and walking away. Yeah. It's like, and cool. And they deserve recognition because they walked away from this because, I get like everyone should have representation, but like at some point you got to stop representing this person. Like Laura's, all of her power is in the courts. So one thing that I think it's just not being brought up because there's bigger fish to fry. We absolutely need to get her labeled as a vexatious litigant. That's because of the court, like the amount of time she's facing. But it's like a vexatious litigant takes all of her power away in the court, and that's like that's not something that we're talking about up front because we're like, let's get her locked away. But it's like, but let's also label her a vexatious litigant and stop her from ever using the courts again. Because if she can't use the courts, she has no power. Right. And again, Laura has proven the only way to stop her is by taking her power away, which the prison will do that. Right. Prison will put her behind bars, and she's she'll be making phone calls. That's it, and
from one number, right? Not 13.
Yeah.
Will you get a message? This is from prison before you.
I still think she messages me. I still get random messages like every day from different numbers.
Layla. You know who Layla is? PS Creative Layla.
She
ran the studio.
Yeah.
Okay. So she and I talked the other day, and she and I both got like weird like troll messages from this account with a dog picture and 0 followers. They were like, "This is fucking Laura." Like this is.
I know Laura's still at it. I mean, I get just being like, "Hey, I'm looking for a realtor." It's the same. I blocked the number 5.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't want a blowjob."
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just like I get messages all the time, and so I know it's probably still her.
Yeah.
But maybe I should call her. Maybe I should just give her a call because since my restraining order is up, I'll just call her.
Do not fucking do that.
What's up, bitch?
Well, actually, fake Laura Owens here for the $5 says, Clayton, you have my permission to give all the tea. So I guess you should call her.
I'm like, hey, right now. Should I call her right now?
No, please don't call her on my.
No. You do it live?
No, because then I'll get in trouble for harassing. Okay. I like to maintain that I've never had any contact with her. I blocked her and her entire family and everything, just like I did with David, and I will never, ever, ever encourage contact with her.
Do I think she'd pick up?
Yes, she would pick up. No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm not under a restraining order.
Don't you dare.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, especially with a trial.
We've already established that oral leads to babies. Don't talk to her.
Okay? yeah. I'm gonna get I'm like, well, no, I've been talking to. You don't see Lauren saying she's pregnant. What's going on here? I hugged you a couple weeks ago, so I'm waiting. I've been waiting to hit me.
I proposed to you with a rose, and you bit it out of my mouth. So I think that I am actually pregnant.
You know what? That's why I've been waiting on that. I was waiting for you to text me. I'm like, hell yeah. Triplets.
I was quite busy that night after you left, so sorry, I forgot to call. I got into some trouble. That is bad. I was like, oh shit. But,
you know what? Trouble makes for good stories.
Oh yeah, but also awkward times. The expert, thank you for the $5. Love you, Lauren. Oh, I love you back. Thank you.
Yeah, and you deserve all the love. Again, it's awesome. Like, just what, again, like standing in the face of adversity, and it's again, like nobody asked anybody to like step in the way of this. And, so I don't think it's like, this is incredible. I mean, I'm over here just seeing these comments and it's just like, it's awesome to see a community. And yeah, I think again, you should get a ton of credit as well, because like you're bringing a community, you're building a community within, and you're the reason why things are continuing to go forward. Like everyone plays their part, and maybe somebody associates with you and it's like, Lauren's my person. Like, like Dave Neal's cool, but like Lauren's my girl. Like that's who I go to. Cause like we're all different, right? Like yeah. Dave Neal can pull an audience and pull a certain audience. You can pull a certain audience. Yeah. And so, I think it's incredible. It's like, we're all necessary, right? Like, cause one of us might just happen to pull in the extra few people that we need because like they speak to that person.
Sure. Well, I'm very, niche, I think. So that's fine.
Well, niches are important. Niches also cause strong emotional connections because people go, I can really relate to that person, right? Yeah. So,
all right.
So they're super necessary. So there you go. I see Jane said Lauren is my person.
Oh, nice. That's not my sister, right? No, it's different. All right. Okay. Stir Crazy, thank you for the 5. Clayton, I'm so proud of you and the other men for fighting through this. I know how hard it was, but just thanks. You will never be able to do this again.
Yeah, and again, like I mean, like my strength comes from the community. Yeah, I like 1,000%. Her going public was the single greatest thing she ever did. And I remember the day that she went public, and I was in my house staring. I was filming this local pickleball TV show.
Oh, still hasn't come out. I heard you talk about that. I never saw it though.
Yeah, it never came out. It hasn't come out. Apparently, it's going to come out one day on YouTube. So
you were that bad, huh?
It's harder than I thought. I will say, like, well, I didn't know anything about pickleball, so I was like
I've never tried.
It's hard. Like, kudos to Jesse, because like it's not easy. Like I was trying to like you got to bring more excitement. I was like, what? I am excited. They're like, no, more passion. I was like,
Jesse Palmer.
Yeah, good old Jesse.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like he what's cool about Jesse is he texts me. He keeps in touch like every so often. He'll touch base. So he was calling the Mizzou versus, what was the game? It was Mizzou for somebody recently a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, do you want tickets? Like, I'll you should come out." Awesome. It's awesome. Like Jesse, just like again, he's like a big brother to me, and as busy as he is, like he still takes the time to check in every so often, and yeah, like I think he's just such an incredible person. So. He reached out early on to check in with me on this whole thing, and I really appreciate him, and he's an awesome person.
Good. Let's see. Bruce says, thank you for the $5. Bruce says, "Oh, sure. When Clayton is here, it's an interview. When I'm there, I have to read 9,000 court documents."
Well, you want me to read the documents?
No, I made him do it last night. I must have left like 4 times. I was like, this is so long and drawn out, and she's crazy, so I'm going downstairs.
Yeah, well, the documents, I mean, like they can I get sent them, and I'm like guys, I was like, thanks a lot, legal team, appreciate this, like I trust you guys, and that's my way of like not reading them, like I like breeze them over, and I'm like, what do I need to sign? The one thing is Woodnick, like he does make them fun when he like he has a sense of humor, so when he writes, he puts a little pizzazz in them. I like, he's such a character, but he's such a genuine dude. Again, another guy that like, just like how much help he has been. And I loved the Reddit, post about him. Someone saw him out in public and posted.
Oh, I think I saw that, but I didn't really look at it.
I talked with him on the phone about it. And, I said, I saw that post. He goes, "Oh yeah, you saw that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "I didn't even know who took the photo." He's like, "That's a crazy thing." It's like, I didn't even know. And I was like, "You never do know." I was like, someone snaps photos.
Did no one like come up and say hi? It's
no. And I was like, "Look, I get it, man. I've been taking photos of me out in public without realizing." I was like, "How's it feel?" And he was just like, I mean, he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm not sure how I feel about it." And I was like, "You like it though?" He's like, "I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it." He's real coy with it, but he loves the Zaddy Woodnick. I'll bring that up. Because I'm like, as long as people keep bringing up Zaddy Woodnick, but then people were calling Zaddy Omar recently. I was like, well, guys,
I refuse to call anyone Zaddy. Okay, it's not happening.
Who's more of a Zaddy between Omar and?
No, I would have to lose a bet to call anyone that.
Well, if you had to pick right now, Lauren,
I pick Bruce.
Zaddy Bruce. I mean, Omar's got a little. I mean, again, I'm like, what's up with these good-looking lawyers?
I don't see it, dude, because he's like my brother.
No, but he's got some nice hair, and he's got an aura to him.
That's like,
You know,
it's
he
like,
walks in. You're smart, and you just got a confidence to you, a quiet confidence.
That's like when girls used to come up to me and be like, "Your brother's hot." That's how I feel about it when people are like, "Omar's Omar's this ad." Nah, ew, gross.
Well, I was like, oh, this guy's a little smooth criminal. Yeah, he's smart, and he's got some good hair, and I wonder who would win in a zaddy battle.
I mean, we could set that up probably.
Someone needs to put on Reddit who's
they can arm wrestle.
Actually, no, we don't want to do that because we don't want to, because they're both just as important. So I don't want anybody
pitting each other.
I don't want to be pitting, exactly. I don't want to be pitting against.
I'm voting for Deandra.
Yeah, we could just
Deandra scares me a little bit.
Deandra is a hard ass.
I know. I've only ever seen her talk.
No, but okay. He is a hard ass in the courtroom. Okay, I should, because I want to preface that. I don't want people to think like she's stone cold outside.
Well, I've only ever seen her cross-examine someone.
Yeah, no, she's a sweetheart.
I don't know.
She's a sweetheart. Like when she doesn't go into court mode, like she has game mode. But like when she's outside, she's so like she's just there for you, calming presence, like very. She's got a ton of emotional intelligence and just like very intuitive and like has incredible. She's just an incredible human being. So she's stern. She gets into the courtroom and you're like, whoa, switch flipped.
Yeah, beautiful people who yell at people in a forceful way. That is, I'm turning purple in the face.
So, yeah, well, I know. She was fine, and I was like, Deandra, damn.
Yeah.
I was
bad.
like,
I got it bad, dude. It's bad. I would never speak to her.
What, you felt a little twinkle? What used to mean get a little purple in the face?
I would die. Like I would just pass out.
Like a little excitement.
I would have to leave the room. I could never. No. Oh God.
Yeah. No, she was fine for me. I was like, Deandra, hello. Respectfully.
No,
she's I think she's married and all that. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
But when someone's really good at their job, I mean, yeah, it's a confidence that's attractive, and you're just like, damn, like Deandra, like she's damn good at her job. But my whole team is like that's what's awesome. So I'm just trying to give my flowers what flowers are due. Deandra was awesome, and
no, I said something yesterday. I was like just joking, like I wouldn't be in the same room as Deandra, and somebody comments, "Why don't you like Deandra?" I was like, the problem is I do like Deandra.
Like, too much.
Yeah, right. I gotta go.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've been so fortunate to have it feels like a Marvel superhero team. I'm like, we got all the Avengers, like and everyone plays their own role.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Let's try to get through some of these. Jermaine Down, thank you for the 10. I've always wanted to be the one that Lauren talks to through the TV, but Omar and Clayton are tough to beat. I'll just remain the guy who pays a $5 to have Lauren call LO a cunt. A cunt is the word. My words, not Clayton's.
Hey, yeah.
He's not quite that.
If anyone else wants to send me a DM saying that I've spoken through an interview to them TV.
I'm flying in for National Girlfriend.
I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to type back. I'm going to say, be original.
Oh my God.
Be original. Yeah. Try something new.
We have two here. I think they're directed at you from Dublin. So let me read both of them. Clayton, we are victims supporting other victims. Thank you for standing up. And also, we all need to support and stand with Greg. This is the last victim unless others come forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, support is just highlighting the story, just putting out even a comment. People that are giving money, that's incredible. But not everybody's as fortunate to give money, or is they got their own expenses that they have to take care of, and so what's just as powerful is sharing a story on social media or commenting. You're telling the algorithm, with your additional comment that it's important, and the more comments, the more traction it gets. So that's something where if you're I want to make a difference. Well, if you're in there commenting away and sharing stuff, you're making a difference. And I mean, that's what's gotten things into the right people's hands to take this bigger, right? Inside Edition got into the right hands because, it's Rachel, but then who brought in Rachel? I think it was Reality Steve.
Steve, yeah.
Yeah. Which again, Steve, there you go. You never know who's going to be the next big catalyst. And that was a major part. Steve brought her in and got her locked in and uploaded. Right. And thank you, Steve.
Yeah, right. He's a funny guy. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to listen to podcasts these days, but I always listen to his. So that's actually.
Steve's great. I mean, Steve and I think I did an original interview with him back when it was for the.
I remember that now. I forgot about that. I remember.
Yeah, and he was.
It was a while ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought again, he was really cool. He was chill, and asked me some questions, and I was like, huh, my mom always she always followed his stuff. And so she's like, you're talking to Reality Steve? I was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, oh, I kind of feel like I'm talking to a celebrity, because I knew like Reality Steve, because before I went on the show, it's like my mom was always looking for Reality Steve spoilers.
I had an old teammate when I went to Olympic trials. I swam for this local team. It's called Bulls. I had an old teammate, Robbie Hayes. He was the runner-up on JoJo's season. So that's when I found Reality Steve, because I was like, I need to know what happens to Robbie. I never really talked to the guy because he was older than me. So he was like a few years older than me. So I didn't really talk to him, but I knew who he was. And I was just like, I need to know if she picks him or not.
I don't know why that. Yeah, I was gonna say, that name sounds so familiar. Like I'm just like looking him
Robbie?
up.
Yeah, he was probably a couple seasons before you on Bachelorette.
Oh, this guy?
He looks like.
Did I meet him? I feel like I met this dude. I don't know.
You might have. I don't know. I don't think he was on much longer before you.
He looks super familiar in his name. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyways, I thought maybe I.
Yeah.
So maybe I knew him, but who knows? Balls or bulls. I'm sorry. Now I'm getting caught up in these comments. See, I talk and then my eyes just keep darting over as I'm looking at the comments.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
I think it's great. I mean, I love seeing all the support. So.
Oh yeah, Kelly, thank you for the 5. I love that she expected the SWAT team to come during business hours. That was hilarious.
That was wild. Again, I was like, what do you think? They're gonna be like, oh, sorry, we'll come back. Sorry, 10 o'clock.
Kelly also says, thank you for the 5 again. Clayton asked Jesse about the Dr. Phil episode a few years ago he reported on with the fake pregnancy scammer. I was one of her victims.
Really?
Oh, that's right. I heard a little bit of that story before. Yeah, Kelly.
Wait, so Jesse reported on it?
I guess. I'm not familiar with how Jesse's related to that, but I do remember Kelly saying something like that.
Oh, I'll have to take a look into that.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to, yeah.
DMN MT, thank you for the 5. I'm sorry you went through this, but if it weren't for you being who you are, Mike and Greg would still be victims of Laura, plus who knows how many more.
Yeah, I think I understand that, like, me having been on the show, like, drew some interest initially, and yeah, so it helps. It certainly helps. I think I've seen the counter to that where someone's like, this is ridiculous. So this is the day and age we're in, where like somebody has to be famous in order for it to be taken seriously. And I get that frustration as well, because it's like, you'd like to just see everyone be taken seriously. So I see both sides of the coin, but I think, for what it is, it's like, hey, look, this is the situation we're in. And if like my notoriety is what, was initially what got this thing rolling, then I'll take it. I mean, again, whatever we can do, whatever we need to take this to the finish line.
Well, this one came in while you were threatening to call Laura on my stream. Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $2, says, hello.
I also just saw one funny one. Did Clayton wait for business hours to come? That's fucking hilarious.
Lynn,
that was after business hours.
Yikes. Lynn, thank you for that. Lynn sent a couple of $99 ones. Thank you. That's amazing. And by the way, thank you very much. What you do is important. We need voices like you that stand up to those that abuse the justice system. Men need to be heard.
Yeah, well, men aren't heard without the support around them. So again, like I keep highlighting that, like, the women are a big driver to this, and the men that are involved too. I'm not trying to be like, yo, men, step up. Like, it's just we have a lot of women, and thank the Lord for women, right? Like, wouldn't be. I
don't know, man. I heard you're a men's rights activist, so.
Oh yeah. Maybe I should, yeah. As of for whoever started that rumor. Yeah.
Someone read it probably. Jenna Balby, thank you for the 10. Glad you have justice. It seems like a blessing in disguise. You had the following you did to help stop this for all. I hope you find happiness because you deserve it. Thanks for coming on to you both. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like, it's so cool to see all this, and like, I mean, again, it's awesome that people are supporting, and like I said, Lauren, like, it's awesome to see you grow the YouTube, like, 20,000 plus now.
Yeah, something like that.
Shoot, wow. Something slight, just 20K. It's whatever.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. That's incredible. No, I again, because of who you are, like, it's just like being you, right? Like, that's what's super cool, is like, we just got to be ourselves, and we find our tribe.
Well, speaking of people with YouTube followings, we have a Megan in here. Clayton said he'd interview with me with intention, and not 2 weeks later, this. Calling Gingras. Also, Megan's very pregnant tonight. She says having the babies if Clayton doesn't come back for part 2, and also having the babies of California judge doesn't refer her for prosecution. That's a lot of babies, Megan.
What if I started having babies? Then what happens? Like, it's like a reverse Uno card. What if
you started having babies? I would be concerned as to how I made that happen.
What if I just started impregnating everybody?
Oh, it's the other way around. Okay.
To get back at Laura. Like, what if
I thought you meant like you were having the babies. I was like,
no, I'll just start getting everyone pregnant just to like upset her.
I think we just hit the jackpot.
I'm like, everyone besides Laura is getting pregnant. That's just to upset her. It's like the ultimate reverse Uno card.
Yeah. Megan also says Rachel is so great. Rachel is like one of my favorite people to come out of this. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Well, she seems great. I'll meet her one day.
Fucking awesome.
Amy
Kelly
Hicks near Lauren. Oh.
What's that?
He reported on it with Dr. Phil. I'm reading the Kelly's
comment. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't even start reading it. You got to it before me. But
yeah, no, it's popping up, and my eyes are just starting. I got
Thank you, Kelly, by the way.
That's wow. Well, just wild how I had no idea. I'll have to talk to him about it. Yeah.
She lives near Lauren. Of course, it's a Florida lady.
Yeah, no, I'll have to bring that up. I mean, I'll be like, hey, why? I'm like, what was this about? I'll be like, oh, that'll be me checking in with Jesse. I'll be like, Jesse, what's up? So, anyways, I heard why have you been holding out? What's up with this little baby scenario?
Yeah. All right. I think we finally made it through those. Yeah, that was the last one. So I'll probably call it a night. Clayton, you can stay put for a second, but we're going to say bye to everybody else. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for hanging out. And thank you, Clayton, for talking to us. So I will see you guys later, probably tomorrow night. Bye. I leave abruptly.